Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Headspace podcast. This the show where we break down new albums track by track. Yeah.
All right, that's gonna be a thing. Let's have like a show tune intro.
Can we do
now.
that? Can we? Maybe we should record a little intro.
Like we have a stinger, but we need a show tune intro.
Maybe,
that's cool.
Maybe. So my name's Holden, Stephan Roy.
My name is Chris Chrome. What's up, guys?
And today, at Chris's request, we'll be talking about this Casanova album, and I believe, what's it called, Chris?
Behind the Scars.
That's right, which is very similar to a certain YouTube channel you might be watching, but not exactly the same. But behind that suit, BTS, like we share the same initials, our channel, and this very album here. Good on you, Casanova. I like the letter choices here. Anyway, this is the type of show. It is give you a little tasty taste at the very beginning, but we do care a lot about your feedback, your thoughts, your ideas. I want you just, as you're watching it, if we say stuff and you want to comment, put that comment. You want to be nice, mean, whatever, put that comment. We'll have a little chit chat down below because we acknowledge that there's a good chance that you know more about Casanova than we do, and we just coming into this and we go week over week and we talk about the albums, but we also know who the fuck we are and just kind of accept the situation as it is, that we will continue to grow and learn as we understand the culture better over time, but specifically focus on our albums and full projects as opposed to singles and whatnot. Anyway, we do care a lot about the comments. And last week, we talked about Danny Brown's album, you know what I'm saying? And on that, Miles B came in and said, I absolutely love this album. Q-Tip did an amazing job catering his great beats to Danny's style. It was a lot more sober, personal, and tamer than Atrocity Exhibition, which I loved as well, and which we'll probably review one day. And so I appreciated that because Miles B's OG with us. I've seen his face, his comment, or his little MF Doom face for years in the comments now, and that's real cool. Real love and respect like that for just having that kind of experience of just seeing somebody come in and be like, yeah, wow, that guy still checks out the stuff sometimes. That's really cool. So on that note, his comment was also dope because Q-Tip did do a really excellent job in his role executive producing that project and doing a few of the beats, with the friends and whatnot. I don't really know what an executive producer is. I feel like it's like a catch-all role for a guy who was in the room and made sure shit happened.
Well, I think it's also like I think when if he has like an opinion or something that should sound the way, or like if if you have a vision for your album and then me and you are kind of sitting together talking about it and I'm like helping you produce it, I would be the executive producer in a sense.
Nah, executive producer is more like the top dog, right? You'd just be a contributor and probably get a songwriter credit for that more than that. Because, I would say, on my project, I would be executive producing because that's more decision making. That's more like, this is how it's going to be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I was like, yo, you should really have, this skit
You
here.
should is idea contributing.
Right.
I decide is decision making. So if you're not the decision maker, you're not the producer in that level of production, right? So to me, it sounds more like when it came down to it, Q-Tip told people what to do.
Okay.
Whereas other guy in the room that's saying, maybe you should do it like this, is not the same role. That would give you a songwriter credit. That would be a contribution in that regard. I'm super fascinated with copyright law lately. Anyway, we can get into it real soon. Special thanks to the patrons is Milka Dempsey, Chris Prado, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black, Hurricane, Lindell Williams, Coney Spires. They're dope. They support what we do. We shout them out at the beginning while you're still watching. And Mr. Christopher, what episode are we doing today? I mean, in terms of the album?
So for this week's Headspace review, episode 143, we went with Casanova's new album, Behind the Scars.
Which is, again, so similar sounding to Behind That Suit. I like it. It instantly makes this album a little more appealing. Let's talk a little bit about why we're reviewing the album. Our connection to the artist. That's the beginning of the show, because we came to realize that the super fans from the long time backs feel a certain way about most of the albums we talk about, even the new ones. And then the people who are just coming on it for the first time and hearing it, as a fresh pair of ears, usually feel kind of different. So in all fairness to y'all, it makes sense to convey how we are connected to the artist, because that gives you a sense of our mindset in the beginning jumping into this. So there was 4 or 5 choices of albums to review this week, and this is gonna sound like the laziest crap ever, but this guy was like, I gotta get it done early. We can't be messing around on the time. So this one's shorter than the other one you wanted to do, which I still might do. And the other one had no lyrics up. This one has all the lyrics up. It'll be easier to do this one. I know.
I mean, it was like, I was okay with doing any album.
On
but
the lyrics front, though, it does make it.
3 albums out of the 4 we had to pick, or 5, it was like there was no lyrics at all.
Well, one of them was Lil' Kim, and I'm really not sure I can positively review Lil' Kim and not end up pissing people off on that review. Because I listened to it, and while I felt that Lil' Kim's rapping is adequate and really dope, from a subject content point of view, it is not my cup of tea, and I wasn't certain that the people watching this channel, as like the real fans of the channel, would appreciate that one as much as others. So Casanova, I listened to the first track, and I'm like, okay, we can do that one. Like, I don't know. I also posted on Facebook and got told about other albums that I didn't even know, but again, every one of them, no lyrics online, and it's frustrating how a lot of the good underground guys, the genius people, ignore to go just do like the pop albums. Anyway, little genius rant over, but honestly, I've never heard of Casanova before.
I have. Not from like music wise, but I have Joe Budden pull-ups. Saw him on that interview. Like the first pull-up when he started. I saw Casanova on the Breakfast Club interview. I kind of know who he is as like just a person, but I've never actually heard any of his music or whatnot unless he was featured on something I stumbled upon on.
Yeah, I mean, I just know that Genius said that the album came out, and then I looked it up, and it was one of the contenders to talk about this today. I guess we're in the afternoon now. Either way, the album's called Behind These Scars, which I love the title because it gives you the sense that he's been through some things. He was in jail for about 8 years. I believe he got out a few years back. And then moved into music proper. He was apparently a cellmate of A$AP Rocky, which I think is pretty interesting, just as far as like little tidbits of music factoids goes. And here he is with this album, with this really interestingly titled album that really makes me want to listen to it just to hear the story of like the emotion or whatever, because it kind of sounds like I got this exterior, right, and you're gonna get the behind the scenes of what was going on inside of my mind and whatnot. So it kind of got me hyped up. And then you got that cover where I don't know, it doesn't do a whole lot for me, but I kind of like it in the sense that you got the red that's very pronounced. You got like the little pictures of the younger folk inside of his face. And otherwise, it's just very simple, but
I feel like it's a nice representation of what we're going to get for the album in regards to, like, the top of the photo. Casanova's hair is kind of like a building. Looks like a courtyard or something like that. So I feel like we're going to get some, like, this is my environment, this is where I come from. Like Holden said, we've got the younger kids on, we got like a tattoo, and another one kind of look like it's fading into his face near his eye. Kind of seems like we're gonna get some old history talking about maybe about his upbringing or whatnot. But the album cover kind of seems a little just very simple. I do like the red newspapery type of coloring and the design that's used on the album cover. Kind of like addressing that he might be so like deep into certain shit that like news articles are kind of catching on to him in a way. That's kind of how I look at that, and I like how it's like blood red a little bit, kind of like they're not positive articles. So there is a lot of like symbolism that's coming off of this album cover, but it also does seem one of like the simpler ones. Like it's not one that might actually stick for long. Like you'll remember the album, but like you may not remember the cover. But it's cool. It's cool. The color patterns are nice. I like how it kind of like looks like it's burning on the side. It's dope.
All right. Well, I think it's time to jump up into this little review that we're going to do over here and talk about Jail Call. I feel like a fool. Honestly, I didn't have a chance to record a video I really wanted to yesterday because Bonnie and I were doing a podcast. But another reason I did want to actually talk about Casanova is because my phone, that little Google thing that pops up and gives you really arbitrary news that very rarely is interesting, said something I've been waiting years to hear. DMX released a new album. Now, unfortunately, when it says album, it could mean song, and this thing sucks, and it always gets your hopes up for these singles that it talks about albums, but fine. So I go to that, and I hit play, and I hear DMX, and I see the other name's Casanova, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. And also, when you go to Casanova Spotify yesterday, it had this track there, but today the track is gone, and I didn't do a video reacting to it like I wanted to, and then the track got pulled, which means I feel like I missed a chance. I mean, obviously the track's gone. The second it was out, it's on the internet, but still, it's pulled off Spotify's. I guess that was like a little, I wonder if that's like a deliberate marketing move, right?
Like a sneak.
Yeah, like Casanova must have got some crazy views off of this thing, right? Like the DMX album coming out was significant enough that the Google people was pushing it through those card news things, right?
Well,
and
DMX is like big though.
Right. And then this is DMX and Casanova is basically the track, so it's on both their Spotify's, as if somebody went through a DistroKid and released the song, and then somebody else pulled it like the next day. But at least yesterday, this DMX and Casanova collab was out as the most recent song when you would go to check either DMX or Casanova's Spotify page. I know that's not Jail Call, but I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to point that out. But Jail Call is absolutely a phenomenal way to start an album, if you were to ask me, because like it comes in and it's literally got a call, and he uses his government name. He goes, I have a collect call, whatever. It's like the prison things, like Caswell Senior, an inmate at the county detention facility. Hello, and you just get the sense of like he's still in jail at this point in his like the story, and he's in that isolated feeling of not being able to reach out to the people in the world. And then as far as like lyrically starting an album on a chorus, have you ever thought of suicide on a jail call while your mother crying? It's like, wow, that's some real bluntness right there, which I appreciate a lot. The production is very pop, as in very clean, very pronounced, very much like, but to a point where it's like, wow, man, that is like an insane amount of money went into perfecting the sound. Like there's almost
cinematic in a way.
Yeah, like it's crazy. It almost makes me feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of money about to go into pushing this dude into something proper or whatnot. I mean, I guess he's affiliated with Diddy. I don't really look into who he's signed to. But anyway, there's the way he raps it. Like, she didn't understand. You had to ride. It was him or you. It was do or die. Pick up. I'm on a jail call. So it's like he's trying to like call his mother, and his mother doesn't even want to fuck around with him, or his boys. Nobody's there, and so he feels like, you know, the consequences of like that is he wants to die.
According to Wikipedia, he's currently signed to Rock Nation and LLC. I don't know if those are two different or the same thing.
Fair enough. Anyway, so we're slowly walking down the corridor. I got 4 and 24 more. They're saying free me on the internet. I'm an hour away. Ain't get a visit yet. And that was like a moment where I was like, damn. Because I guess you don't really hear like that side of the tale, right? How often do you really have, I mean, Remy Ma is an example of somebody that was in jail, came out recently, and has been talking about that kind of stuff. But with all the free me stuff on the internet, just the idea, like, wow, people might be saying that, but if literally nobody comes to visit, that's kind of like on the other end, what is the point of it? It's almost like you're using him in jail as a social media move to get attention, as opposed to actually giving any kind of a fuck. And I thought that was just the way he expressed it. You know, plus my commissary getting low. My people on trial hope they don't blow. But if they beat the case, that'll be the day. And then it kind of flows into kind of like, you know, questioning if he should have, you know, taken a plea deal, or looking at the entire system being fucked up, you know, how they played Meek Mill and what will happen even if he does get out and whatnot.
I really like that. It's not like Meek Mill really struck the world, I find, or at least the culture of hip hop, with this whole court deal and everything that's going on with him. Because like a lot of rappers are referencing like Meek Mill, like really trying to.
It's because like they sent him away for like fucking nothing.
No, I do understand. I'm just saying, like, it's cool to see how like the amount of people he's really affecting. Like, this is not the first album that he's been referenced on for that case.
I mean, the system fucked Meek Mill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think I don't know I don't know if I'm remembering it 100% right, but I think he was like on parole and like caught him with like weed and like sent him back to jail or something. I might be a little more complicated than that. And I mean,
Well,
I
there's
get
something with a wheelie. Also, like wheelie on a bike or whatnot.
yeah, like trivial crap. Like, I mean, yes, technically speaking, maybe he violated parole, but you have to like consider, is it the right move to put somebody in jail like that in general? The whole system's kind of weird, right? Where an innocuous type of action can, like, it's like, okay, fine, if you're interstate trafficking or some bullshit, okay, but like, even getting drunk or whatever, like, it's fucked up. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of parole, like, you can't even drink or whatever, and so if you have a little sip at all in years, you're fucking done. Like, there's so many, I don't know, I don't really get the prison system's benefit in the way that it manifests personally, so I just think that the fact Meek Mill ended up and the way it played out with Jay-Z getting involved and them starting to raise awareness and actually kind of flipping it does bring a lot of attention, but it is just something I think everyone can kind of point to as a recent example of some bullshit. You know, plus my bunkie a junkie. My baby mama told my mama she don't want me. It's just like he's stuck with these desperate people in a situation where he just wants to, I guess, feels like he's trapped and isolated, and his family and everybody else outside is moving on. Never gonna see his kids. It's fucked up. And then in the whole second verse, it's like he just feels trapped again. He points out, I believe, that he has sickle cell at some point on this track.
The sickle cell got me coughing, feeling like the only way I'm
Oh,
is in a
but that-
coffin. 20
Maybe that's like a play on just being sick in a cell. I don't know. Maybe it's both, or maybe it's the
No,
lack.
he's got sickle cell. I interview. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the only way I leave in a coffin, but even the way he says sickle cell, it just works, right? As being almost like a double entendre within itself. And then just the openness he has of wanting to kill himself because of the situation he's in, and then how basically because of a little action when he could have just stayed home, reflecting on it, you know, he ends up becoming an absent father, like he probably never wanted to become.
But it also shows this, like, because it also shows this divide, right? So he's reminiscing and kind of thinking about what he should have done, being with his kids, staying home, on the, like, all this stuff. But he also acknowledges that, like, the life that he comes from, and there's a part in the song where it's like, Mama doesn't know that I had to do it. I had to rock with it. It was either me or him. Like, he also kind of expresses that there's this, I have to live this life because it's the only life that I know.
I mean, that's what he says on the chorus, but in the verses, it's a lot of, like, it wasn't worth it, is what I felt like.
Right.
I feel like the verses are pointing out, like, so in the chorus, you're right, when he calls in and it almost feels like, Mom, she just doesn't understand how to do it. Even my mom can't understand why it came down to that, right? And that puts you as alone and whatnot. But I don't really feel like in the verses he's really considering that, like, from what you're describing. I do feel that line on the chorus reflects that point, but in the verses I feel like it's almost like he's going the opposite direction. Like, this doesn't make sense. The whole system's fucked up. It's not okay. Like, it almost, like, it's not, it is in a sense not necessarily saying he's culpable or guilty or anything. I don't think he's putting that out. I'm thinking he's reflecting, like, this is some bad shit, you know? I don't know. I mean, I think he's admitting to the life. I'm saying I don't know if I saw in the verses that he was kind of looking for some kind of empathy out of that.
No. I don't want to say that I'm saying empathy. I'm just saying that there is, like, he's looking back at what he should have done, acknowledging like what he did, but at the same time, I feel like he's also acknowledging and he's trying to express, like, this is why I'm an absent father. This is why I wasn't around. I was on the block because I thought doing this would make me money, support my family, support my, like, it kind of looks like one of those senses of, like, I have to do this, but I know what I'm giving up type thing. And now I'm looking back at what I gave up.
I don't know. I didn't get the sense of, I feel like you can infer that, but he doesn't say that. So I don't see where he says any of that, right? I can see how that, you know what I mean? Like, this song just sounds like He's in jail. He's fucking depressed, on the verge of suicide, isolated, alone, and the whole thing is like a call. Like, these are all the things he wants to say on the call to people now. Like, I'm not happy. It's all messed up. It's not okay. I mean, he also says, don't fuck with me, you know?
Fair enough.
I'm alone. I want to die. I caught a body for that person. He ratted on me. Damn, that person fucking with the cops. My baby mom just ain't fucking, man. She fucking with the ops. I should have known she was a motherfucking thought. I'm thinking why I left the motherfucking block, you know? Like, so, yes, he's thinking back on how other people put him into this situation, but I'm not hearing him go, I was just doing what I had to do. I'm hearing him going, I got fucked and shit sucks. No, like...
I feel that.
I really like this track though. I thought it was well produced. The beat's freaking stellar. The lyricism is pretty on point from that like bold storytelling. Like he's got one of those powerful voices where it's not like this like stream of flow. It's more like every line just punches in the way it's supposed to. I get it's a 5 on 5. I really liked it.
Nice. I gave it a 4.5. I really enjoyed the introduction to the album being really serious and really kind of like showing you where he's coming from what we're about to receive. It was good. Production was nice. The beat really like the way the instrumental flows through, and you just have this like kind of, I want to say, pensive feeling in a sense. So it was really good. It really took me out of like my room and brought me into like I kind of felt like I could visually see like him just standing there on the phone as somebody, because in the intro I feel like he's the one calling, right, and somebody's like hello, and he's just kind of standing there like he doesn't know how to start the conversation. He doesn't know how to start what's saying, and that really kind of sat with me because it's like you reached out but you don't even know a little bit of like why you're reaching out. You just know that you have to do this in a sense. So that was something cool. So 4.5.
All right, well, knock knock, who's that at my door? Open the window. Pow. Nobody now. I know what I did. I know how bad that was. I do know how bad that was. Is this guy trolling? Is he trolling, Chris? Is this a troll? Or...
So the way that I kind of look at this, you left a comment on my pick right off in the first verse, right? You left a comment on my pick. You told me to suck a dick. Now I'm about to let it rip. Now you're about to get hit. It kind of really just seems...
It's just funny every time I hear it. It is the funniest song I have heard all year. This has to be comedy, because man, if Casanova watches this, I can't go to fucking wherever he's at. But like, because seriously,
well,
right? I have an opinion here. I'm not saying you should suck a dick, good sir. But what I am saying is, if this is sincerely a dude, hard ass dude, is what I'm understanding, wrote a song saying, I'ma come kill you for talking shit on the internet.
So here's the thing, right? He's like part of the internet though. Like he deals, like he goes into that. So if you fuck with him on anything, whether it's in the streets, on the internet, or whatever, he's that G. He's that fucking real that he will pull up. And I like some of the shit. Where's that point? I've been on verse 2. He goes, I've been on your page for days.
Pathetic.
I want to wait.
It's pathetic.
No.
He sounds like such a loser on this song. A loser. You are stalking.
You're gonna get us fucking killed.
I'm not even. That's what I'm saying. So evidently, like, look, Casanova. I guess if you want to kill me for saying that you sound like a loser. Fuck, man. I'm in Montreal though. If you want to come up here, I'm not trying to be like that.
Come
actually,
up here and have an interview.
I'm not trying to. Yeah, like I'm not trying to be like a hater. I'm saying like as a dude listening to this track, because he's a year older than me.
He's 38.
No, he was born in '86. No, I thought I saw '86.
Fuck, he's 32.
Yeah, a year older than me. Thank you, Chris. I'm saying that as a guy reading this. Now, look, I can understand how if you're in jail for a while, maybe culture goes at a point, and it might be like whatever that you're getting people saying they're gonna. You're threatening violence on people for talking shit in the comments when you should be saying thank you for the notoriety and helping me get famous. And I want to just explain that the internet is what it is, and it's gonna pay you, dog, if you play the game right. However, I've never heard a person sincerely, and I believe it sincerely, which is what makes it hilarious, write some shit like, And to quote Chris over here, I've been on your page for days in a rage. I want to waste them. I'm waiting patient. You can post a pic and you slip. And you post your location. Dude, you gotta have better things to do with your time.
Hold on.
Better things to do with your time for real, man. You should be going, thank you for being a hater, man. Giving me internet points. Yeah, come on. Hate on this review. Comment all the things you think I'm fucking stupid for. You know, for real. Do it. Give us some internet points. Like, that's how I'm looking at that. That's how you're supposed to treat the internet, okay?
So, I think the song is, and I want to use the word satire, right?
Is it? That's
So-
why I asked if it was a joke.
Hold on. Okay, so...
Or if he was a troll.
Okay, so I don't think okay. Part of me is going, this is him expressing that he's just really real and you don't fuck with him. The other part of me is kind of going like, maybe he's just embodying what kids do nowadays. Like he's literally just making a track for people who actually live this type of life, who are on the internet.
So we got to ask ourselves a different question then. So in the book I'm currently reading is on a history of vices, and shit talking is a part of history forever. Like it's always been a part of history. And there's even like multiple iterations of what you would consider to be like a modern day rap battle, like
Right.
throughout history of just shit talking.
Right.
And the reason we have this thing in place is to avoid violence. So in a sense, having an outlet to go be a little shit on the internet probably keeps violence from happening, not like the other
But
way
like,
around.
has it though?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like now the internet is starting to be a source of where like shit's starting to spew. Like, you don't know me, but you're talking mad shit. Like, it's no longer. It's like, it kind of seems like the idea of real world is now internet. Like, the person you are on the internet and the I guess, what is it? The branding, the presentation, whoever you are on social media, you have to keep that lifestyle. You have to keep it up, or else you ain't gonna have your clout, your views, your comments, your this. Which, to people who are fucking dedicated to this,
But this
need
sounds
that.
like he's talking about the people in like the fans. I'm not taking
No,
this.
but I don't think so. I think he's literally saying, like, because there's a fucking line where he goes, there's beef on Instagram because you don't want the cops to find out. And that sat with me, or like, I'm butchering the line. I'm literally looking for it. I think I'm on the wrong song. But
Then it's not appropriate for this song.
no, I think I don't have the
No,
wrong
are you
song.
beefing on the gram because the cops watch? Or do you really want a hot shot? Or are you beefing on the gram because the cops watch? I'm
So-
gonna pull up in a van on an op block.
Think of that for a second, right?
I mean,
There's people beefing on weren't you the one who said it before? The ones who were live beefing on Instagram and shit, like live posting and going at each other. Oh no, it wasn't you. It was one of the podcasts I was listening to. They were commenting on how like Instagram beefs are a fucking thing now. How like you're supposed to argue on the internet. You're supposed to do this shit.
yes.
But it's like, I think that's part of what he's going at, where it's like, this is the world we kind of live in right now. This is part of my world too. Like, people are out here battling on the internet, which is leaking into the real world. I think that's what he's trying to do on this track. I'm not going to sit here and be like, this isn't a funny song. And I was kind of are you really bitching about
So here's
somebody?
the thing. Either it's really, really good satire, or it's really the funniest song because it's not. That's how I mean, like, for real. I can't tell if he's being serious or not, but I just don't know why this guy would write a song that isn't deadpan serious the way the rest of the album is, right? Like, nothing else is just... I really think it's almost like he's reading the comment sections and seeing all the shit talking, and he just hates it. Or he sees how people are. And maybe you're right. Maybe you're absolutely correct, and people act like it's a certain way. But in theory, and, like...
I mean, just to contextualize, right? I play games, and even like just in gaming on like PlayStation parties, the amount of shit that like really takes place, and it's like this one fucking did this and this one did that, and it all has to do with this fucking game. It kind of seems the same way it's for internet. It's like it's just a different world.
But like okay, so there's two answers. One, most people like that. You know why? Because look at what the fuck gets numbers. That. So this is about like what people want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why are entertainers trying to make a buck not going to do what people want?
All right, I see that.
I mean, look, I'm not saying artists. I said entertainers trying to make a buck. And that's what a lot of these people are. They're entertainers, entertaining. Like, look at DJ Academics and all the pot stirring he does. Why? Because it's worth money.
Right,
That's why everybody knows what a DJ Academics is. Joe Budden yelled at people for 2 years, got really famous, and stopped yelling at people. But did he not yell at people for years before he stopped yelling at people? Do you see Joe Budden popping without the countless virality of his yelling at people?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
He made so much noise.
I mean, their podcast is taking off.
After the controversies. You know what his biggest episode's going to be this year? Nicki Minaj and him yelling at each other. Okay?
Or him just getting yelled at by her.
Right. But that's my point. That's always seems to be what it is. When Vlad TV does drama and controversy, it gets more views than when they talk about conscious or real shit. So, like, you look in the world of content, and part of the reason I feel like I may be shooting myself in the foot with this channel is because I don't want to just, like, I try it hard. Even though I talk shit on this song, per se, it was honestly because I think I'm not certain, and I think it's so goofy that a person my age would so sincerely write a song about going to shoot people that were talking shit on the internet. Like, that is an escalation that doesn't seem 100% appropriate in my mind. It doesn't make Casanova look cool to me.
And I get that.
But on that note, like, I mean, does that mean I can't say this because somebody's going to come shoot me?
No, of course. You can say what you...
No, I mean, there's also a chance somebody might feel, yeah, dude gets to bust a cap in his cracker's ass.
I mean, that's fair. But, like, okay,
I don't even know. So
now
I'm wondering, because I chose to say that, is that problematic now? Am I now risking my life?
I wanna. Okay, so the idea. And I don't
Let me
wanna stay
be
on this
clear.
too long, but
He's a good rapper in the sense that the delivery on this track is great. I gave this song a 4.5 on 5 because it's actually really fucking well made. And as much as I think it's goofy as all fucking anything, to give him credit, his rapping is tight. It makes sense. It follows a story. It's relevant and contextual. I just don't see him looking the best out of the end of the song versus the Trolls, where it's like...
So, take out the fact that it's internet. Talking shit on the streets gets you a bullet. So it's like... That's I guess where I'm kind of stuck. It's kind of like we've moved off of the streets.
But
so if he's really like a street guy,
I'm not,
and he's really like out there.
But I'm not a street guy. I can talk shit and not die.
I mean,
I talk shit in certain environments a lot.
Which I agree.
There's no
but like
death.
You're not. But are you dealing with him?
No, but what happens if he came at me on Twitter because I said something in a podcast and then I said, you know what? Hypothetical. You should suck a dick in response to him on Twitter.
We're getting killed.
Right?
We're getting fucked.
No, I'm trying to like frame this in a ridiculous way to people because when I hear this type of song, I'm like, bruh, I don't know that it's cool for you to basically imply that people can't have opinions about you if you want to be a public figure.
Yeah.
So, suck a dick is like pretty fucking mild. If you say go fuck your mother, okay, I could understand that more. But suck a dick in 2019 is barely a thing. Like, is that a thing still?
I mean,
maybe it's a thing. Maybe I'm ignorant. So I'm not on the internet.
I'm just gonna state. Apparently, and this is from Joe Budden podcast, apparently if you walk around New York telling people to suck your dick or like suck my dick, that's grounds for fighting. Like that's not like
and
it's
to
like
me,
it's disrespectful. It's like fuck your mother, bro. Like
which is fair, but I'm a Canadian person. I am Canadian. I don't think like that. I don't know how to think like that.
Maybe not you, but I kind of think like that. Like if somebody told me, like if I'm saying some shit and they're like, yo, suck my dick, it's like I'm not going to do anything, of course, because I'm not going to pay it mine, but I do feel a little bit like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, that's disrespectful. Like, you're basically disregarding everything I have to say or everything I do to tell me to just suck your dick. Like, I'm not a bitch, and I'm not trying to say that either. Like, I'm not somebody lower than you is what it is. Like, you don't get the right to be like, yo, shut up, you ain't good for nothing but just neck.
So, if we're talking about this proper then, the retaliation to that, when you look at like top level people, they'll say some snarky shit like "thank you," and it's calm. And then the guy might die in 6 months, but like it's a calm response.
The guy might die in 6 months, but it's a calm response.
At least whatever. He's not gonna like. I don't think he's gonna die. But like the person, like if you're a real money player, and you're gonna be like trying to play my like. I guess I'm just not a streets person in this regard. I don't understand why this is cool. And I can accept that I'm culturally insensitive here or something. I just think this is the goofiest fucking song because like a lot of people put money into this track and a lot of people said this was a good idea. And maybe a lot of other people in the comments or something will be fucking saying whatever because usually it's fans of the artist that watch this review, but like as a person who has my own feelings about what's cool and not, I feel like there's a gross overreaction to it just sounds like he doesn't understand how to play it. Like either he really, really understands the internet or he doesn't, right? Like, and I'm giving him that's why I started this with, is this a joke? Is this satire? Is this him trolling trolls? Like, is he trying to get a guy like me to go blah, 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 blah? In which case, of course, we're playing together now because that's what I want too. I want the people to think I'm fucking goofy. That's part of my brand.
Next level.
But, like, I get the game. But that's the thing. It's supposed to be a game. Right? And if somebody tells you to suck a dick in the middle, like, so I used to argue with the motherfuckers in the comments a little bit. And now, usually, if somebody says suck a dick or whatever, I say some shit like, thank you so much for watching anyway. Why? What am I going to say? Dude clicked on my shit. And maybe I said some shit.
You clicked on my face.
Right. Like, that's actually a fair point. You clicked on my face, and maybe my face pissed you to fuck off, and unlike Dave Chappelle, I have no notoriety.
But you still clicked.
Goofy honky kid here is talking at you like this, and you're like, I don't fucking like this guy, fuck him. And you say whatever the fuck you want. Cool.
It's still 5 minutes of view time, though.
But I'm not looking at it quite like that, because I'm not actually that... I mean, he's technically right, but I'm looking at it like... I appreciate the fact that people come here, because I love talking. And the one thing I want to do with my life is talk about things with people. So even if you're going to leave me a comment telling me to fuck off and die or whatever, which doesn't really happen, but it could, I would appreciate the fact that, like, I got that time from you and that we shared that time together. That's really cool to me at, like, nice. A meta fucking level.
That is nice. Just...
At least that's how I'm trying to deal with it in my head.
that's a nice way of thinking things.
I mean, I also can understand how, especially if Casanova watches this particular song, and some of the stuff I'm going to say later on the album, that he might not like it. And I get it. I honestly don't think this is going to be my most favorable album review from a content perspective. That's why I also want to make sure to convey that this is so polished up and shiny. It's just like squeaky clean in terms of the sound of it. And that is also not that appealing to me. It feels like a pop album, but it also feels like it's trying to be a streets album from a sounds perspective. Still, at this part, I really like it. It's a 4.5 because I'm entertained, and I don't know if it's what he was going for, but I felt like laughing every time I heard the song because it was funny to me.
Nice. I left it with a 4.2. I enjoyed the track. I thought it was cool.
You know what I'm not, though? I am not so Brooklyn. See, the thing is he rapped the last song the same way he rapped this song, right? Intense, coming at you. And when you listen to this song, it all makes sense. You know, like right from the beginning, that Brooklyn, yep. And you just feel that vibe. It feels so New York in that sense. It feels it, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm so Brooklyn, I should get paid for the work I put in. And you're just feeling that energy, and you're riding to it. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. I feel like it just fits nice. And then he's like, I had to sign with Jay, your hove, good looking. And that's really cool, you know, shouting out his major label plugs and whatnot. So I guess he is signed to some, I mean, you said it earlier, but like, has some big names, that big money behind him. And then I really liked the verse, you know, like I actually really enjoyed it. The way he delivered it has that yelling kind of top level energy. Every line is just said with like super serious enthusiasm. You ever shot an op with a Mac? You ever shot an op in his back? Spun the block, made it clap, licked the shots, so you spun right back. And then he's got those ad-libs coming in. I'll be honest with you, I like the energy, I like the tone. And I like the way he's coming at it from a vibe. I like the beat the beat and the hook of this track is absolutely stellar. Like, it is top notch. It's so good to listen to.
Yep.
But like, if you were to tell me, were there any bars that really stood out to me, I would say not really. It's more of an energy thing that I got from this track, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. Again, the way he raps is excellent. His technical proficiency is really cool, but it just kind of sounds top level, like people faking with the paperwork. Put money on your head. Watch this paperwork. Yeah, it's all right. It's a cool bar, because get it? People are lying with their paperwork situations, so he has money, and then watch how this paper works. My shooter said I gotta pay him first. I told my shooter go and slay him first.
I like that.
I'm just like, okay, so we had a little conversation, and the shooter's like, listen, I want the money up front, and he said, no, you only get the money when you get paid. Look, it's not like I don't think it's that great. I think it's pretty standard sounding to me, right?
I mean,
like I was recently listening to Jim Jones there on
new album?
No,
Interview?
No, but his verse on the Conway album.
Oh, okay.
And he's sitting there doing shit like, have you ever had to like hold your bladder for 6 hours, no time for stopping, whatever. And you just, the way they put these little details in, these little gritty things where you're like, damn, that really sounds like that dude is like right there, ain't it? Like,
Yeah.
And there's some like story to it. It feels like it's a movie going on, and they have that energy, and they kick in wisdom and stuff. Like, he says, I can show you how to make the money stack, but I also don't know that he's done a lot on this album to help me make my money stack. Whereas a lot of these other guys in the more street side of hip hop I've been feeling with, as we've talked about a whole bunch, have taught me tactical things I can take back to my corporate office place and in fact make my money stack. Because distributing software, distributing content, it's not that different in like a tactical strategic point of view as some of the other substances that get distributed in a world where you produce, distribute, sell, and move. It's a lot of the words are the same because a lot of the facts of how it gets done is the same. The legalities and the dangers are different. And so it just like, I start shit, then I spark shit, but to get on some real King of New York shit. And I know that Coney from Coney Sparks, or patron, King of New York, and he brought that up, and I was like, thanks for teaching me that before we got here, so I know that that's a thing. But like, I don't know, it's cool. But then Fabolous comes in, and his voice is really good next to Casanova's. Like, they sound like they mesh well together. But I need a vacay for all the work I put in. To me, sounds like a tone that's cooler than I should get paid for the work I put in. Like, even from the beginning, Casanova's like, I deserve more. And then Fabolous is going, I put in all this work. I'm going to take a little break. We got those opportunities. We made that happen.
I can't speak on Fabolous because I don't know a lot about him. But like, from what I know about, let's say, the current situation, Casanova just got out of jail. So
But he got out of jail like a few years back.
But like, even at that, you've been out, maybe you gotta deal with some shit. You gotta like
okay,
still
I've been
kind of
putting
catch
work in
up.
on this channel. I'd like to get paid for my work too. I could
mean,
make that album too. And you know what? The problem is as a person, that isn't attractive.
Okay.
You know what's more attractive? Fabolous being like, yo, we needed opportunity, so we took that. Pop up with the tools at your house. Call me Bookman. Also, bro, like, we did shit. Action. We made it happen. You look to him, you're like, how? Whereas I can appreciate the humility of Casanova with the way he's saying it. Like, but like, he's like, I should get paid for the work I put in. I stole a chain off a guy. I did the same thing walking out the bookings. I had to sign a J. And I'm like, okay. I appreciate you flossing that you got signed to Jay-Z, but I feel like just on a tone shift, I don't know, it wasn't as fresh. And then I say that because Fabolous caught me with bars, right? When he goes, like, my bitch walked through, like, she know bouncers like that. And I'm like, that's clever, his girl's cocky. Like, damn, not even basketball's bouncing like that. And I'm like, that's a clever line.
Yep.
Everyone can relate to. And if you're like me, that's a nice little bouncy situation you want going on. Still do it for my projects. Still winning. I ain't lost my pride yet. Old Town Road for my projects. Ride till I can't no more. Lil Nas X.
I like
and let's
that.
be real. That's about his people. That's about his situation. That's about building. And that's what I'm saying. That's the difference, right?
I like when he said, yeah, we the heroes to the zeros. Where I come from, they don't hear those other weirdos. We the ones who represent them, not Shapiro's. We the fave gangsters, nah, not De Niro.
And I respect the sense that he manages to come off hard, but also point out that it is more than just him. Whereas in a Casanova verse, it's more like, if shit's not right, I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
Like, I'm just saying, there's a tone difference. There's subtleties to this where, like, the attitude and the character of the person behind, to me, comes off a certain way. Now, maybe it's just supposition and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But, like, first of all, Fabolous says, told my boys 10 toes, hold your poise for the biggest comeback. Word to Soulja Boy. I'm like, somebody shouted out Soulja Boy in a positive way? Now, I like Soulja Boy for one reason, Chris. Do you know why I like Soulja Boy?
Because he's a business person.
Because Holden Roy and Soulja Boy
for fuck's
basically
sake,
rhyme.
Move from
so,
that.
Holden Roy up in that, oh, watch me crank it, watch me roll. Watch me crank that Holden Roy, then Superman that Holden. I mean, you crank that Holden Roy. You, or Holden Roy, tell him, hopped up out my bed. I'm not really a big Soulja Boy fan, and my name rhymes with him, and I fucking love it, okay? Or, I don't know, Fabolous just sounds like what he has to say is a little more interesting to me. So I know I'm coming off like a big Casanova hater, but it's more, I don't like vapid crap. I don't like people who just say things and there's nothing really to it. That to me is not as interesting. And maybe Casanova's life story is hella cool, and if I watched all these interviews, I'd appreciate the man more. But given that I don't have that context, all I have is what this album is telling me.
Fair enough.
And Jail Call, I gave it a 5. It told me so much about the man.
Right.
We're down to Soul Brooklyn, and I feel like it's kind of hit the level of interesting he is going down, in my opinion. And I'm giving him a 4. The track gets a 4.3. It's an amazing beat, an amazing hook, an extremely polished song. Fabolous' verse is really great to me. Casanova's is aight. It does the job, but I'm not left with anything.
I kind of felt like I left with a little bit of an insight of what Brooklyn is like. And that's kind of how I understood the song. They're contextualizing what the atmosphere of Brooklyn is. And they're explaining, like, maybe not so much their individual lives as much as maybe it's implied that they do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. But I think it's more like when Casanova starts off his verse and he's kind of like, you know, you ever shot an op with a Mac, you ever shot an op in the back, and he kind of goes through talking about like the guns and how he's like always having to stay strapped and stuff. I feel like it's not just about him, it's about everybody that he may know in Brooklyn. It's just the lifestyle. I think that's what they're trying to present on this song, is that I'm so Brooklyn, and this is what Brooklyn is from my point of view or from our point of view, and this is why I am like this. I'm so
That's true.
Connected.
And even if you're 100% right, I don't think it changes the tone difference between the two men.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did like when Fabolous quoted Remy Ma after, and that's also that line at the end where he goes, she like, you know, you from New York, which part are you from? I looked at her like, bitch, are you dumb? That also too kind of enforces my thinking of like, this is where they're not really talking about themselves. They're talking about Brooklyn as a whole, what it provided, what it's done for, I guess, the culture and blah, blah, blah. And he prefaces it with like, I just explained to you exactly where I'm from, what it is, and you weren't even fucking listening. Like,
no, what I'm saying though is I really was listening, and I didn't get a lot of what you were saying.
Oh no, I'm talking, not you.
I'm just trying to say in response to this particular song.
Fuck.
So I'm saying I get what he was trying to do.
Right.
And I feel like Fabolous hit that mark a lot more than Casanova did.
Fair. I don't disagree on that. I do think that like Fabolous did a better job in terms of just the song.
Look, I mean, if Casanova, watch this be one that the artist watches, fuck my life, man. But like, I want to like everything I review. I feel guilty every time I don't like something I'm talking about on here. I feel like I'm supposed to like it and I don't. But I'm having a lot of trouble getting behind. Like I'm not sold that if there's like 1,000 guys coming out, that this is the guy. Like a 38 special, I'm gonna jump at. Like a fucking Benny the Butcher, holy shit, in a second. Like there's so many guys that I think spit some shit that I really would back. It's unfortunate, in my opinion, that I'm having so much trouble finding like the motivation for it. And guess what? It doesn't get better for me. Do you know what the next track is, Chris?
I'd rather not.
It's called So Drippy.
This is a clout song. This literally is for me, the definition of I just want to use the new word and make it cool, and everybody's going to like it because the new word is drip.
This guy's my age, for one thing. So, okay, that's fine. Maybe Drippy's fine because literally,
I hate this song.
I'm going to a show called, Drip Drip whatever in October 18th, and I think it's a stupid name personally, but that's cool. Slang, whatever. My problem is we go from the cleanest of clear, hard-hitting, I'm a street New York rapper guy, and I don't know if I like the idea of this or not. I love the idea of the crossover. My first thoughts when I heard this is it's really mature and cool of this dude to fuck with the auto-tune, to not be that kind of hater, to work with Gunna and Young Thug. And on that front, I'm really into it. It's cool for crossover appeal, bridging together styles, I guess. But wow, is this a not interesting song? I don't want to say it's bad, because I don't actually think it's the worst one on the album. I think it gets worse from this point. But this is not good much.
This
either.
Song, okay.
It's just look, I gave this a 4.
Let me run through the song first, and because there's actually a story here.
First of all, it used to be my dog, my left titty. I mean, I get it.
Well, there's a word missing, and I can't remember the word right now. But
I know, but my left titty. It's just okay. It was time to ride. You ain't ride with me. We used to fuck it up back to back. Bentleys got a bag, ran it up. We were so drippy. So drippy, so drippy, drip, drip, so drippy, drip, drippy person.
All right,
drippy,
okay,
toe,
okay,
drippy,
all right,
toe,
we're
drippy,
done,
drippy,
we're done,
drippy,
we're
drippy,
done.
drippy.
So the story behind this song is basically Casanova kind of reminiscing, or I guess missing somebody, or acknowledging that this person has fucked him over and kind of being like, whatever went wrong. The whole song kind of flows through in this auto-tuney mashup.
Why is Gunna's verse longer than Casanova's verse?
Gunna has a verse?
The first verse is Gunna, according to Genius. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell
It was
either.
very
I thought
odd.
it was
No,
both Casanova.
I'm pretty sure Casanova does the second verse. But it says here Gunna. I don't really know.
Well, look, in Casanova's verse, when he goes, thought you was my blood, shit went left like cuz, we was dripping like a flood, you was wired, you was bugged in front of the judge, well, they hit you with the judge.
Now you praying
for
to
the
the
jury,
jury.
should I ice you like my jewelry? That right there is the only line I needed to hear to understand that this entire song is about him basically crying over a dude who fucked him over. That's literally what the song's about. Now, I like what he's doing. He's kind of just expressing, I've been fucked around, I've been played, blah, blah, blah. And he's doing it his own way. I don't like the sound of this. I don't like the Young Thug fucking ad-libs. I didn't realize Gunna was the first verse, so that just says something. I did not like this song.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them Sam I Am. No, for real, this song is the most mediocre thing I've heard in a while. I don't know that I would have reviewed this album. Because, basically what happened, I started reviewing the album, and Chris had already done it, and I was like, oh, shit. But, I don't know that I really would have stuck with this album had I got to this point, because I don't want to be this guy sitting here being I don't like this, but time constraints means this is what it is. Gotta get the episode out, the YouTuber life and whatnot, but this is not good. It's just good in a context. So let me be clear. If I'm out and about, maybe a lady's grinding up on my dick and I got some drink going on or whatever, okay, it's fine. It fits the environment. It's got a flow to it.
There's 8 other songs I would pick before
No,
this.
but what I'm saying is if this just came on in the right environment,
I feel you.
and I'm out and about and I'm not in control of the music.
If you're too lazy to change the song.
I'm saying I can even see how this grows on me. I'm in the right environment, and it becomes a banger.
And I agree, because I do see that this might be a banger.
Don't really. My issue with the song is it's so formulaically a pop song. It is so a money grab. I don't really think that I can consider Casanova to be a guy who's making music with the intention of being the real, having heard the poppy fakeness that is this track. What I mean is, this shit is sonically pulling on all these cheap ass gimmicks, and I'm not saying Casanova is fake. He's probably legit in his tiny verse, but like 2/3 of this song is not Casanova. It's more like a Gunna track featuring Casanova and Young Thug. Now, if I'm wrong and Casanova did the first verse, I'll take that back, and y'all can yell at me in the comments. However, I don't care, because I'm never going to listen to this song again, is the end of it. I gave it a 4 because I don't think it's bad per se. I just don't think it's great. Like, it's all right. Like, functionally okay. Because anyway. Are you done? Are you good?
It's a 3.5. I don't like this.
All right. You want to talk about the next song?
They are lyric. They can rap. They have style. I know that they all are kind of
I like Young Thug on some stuff.
Yes, I like Young Thug on some things, and I like Gunna on some things, and I kind of like when Casanova's just more G, but this whole combination is just noise to me. So, 3.5.
All right.
Whoa.
Carousel. Whoa. It got worse, yo. This is fucking bad. This is like...
And you told me there's no lyrics here.
No, I wrote the lyrics out on Genius to Jeremih's part because they weren't here, and I get it. Fly shit only. You should never be so lonely. How you get into this party? How you jumping out the Rari? Fuck. This is so boring. Fly, living in the suicides. Oh, fuck off. Nobody cares about... Are those doors still cool?
I want those doors. Those are cool doors. Dude,
you know
the
what,
fact
though?
that your doors go up... Like,
you say that because we got
like,
taught it's cool, but the kids are going to fucking laugh at us one day and be like, you old man with your suicide doors. Our doors do this.
Your door... Listen. If your
that's
door,
my point.
If your door is holographic and just fades away...
That'd be fucking cool.
Like...
That'd be way cooler than
I
your door.
ain't fucking
Fuck your
there
suicide
yet.
doors. Or I don't know.
You just like whoop it right into the... Oh, shit.
I'm not into the suicide doors.
Oh, shit. No, but it makes sense. Because, like, in a suicide door, you would, like, you know, have the mechanism to, like, unlock it automatically. So as you're, like, running to the car and being all cool as shit, it's, like, open it up, you slide in. But if it's holographic, you just gotta run right through the door.
And I swear that you're way too close. Got me like, whoa, anything you want to. You can take my soul. Anything I need from you is good. Oh my gosh, this is not a good chorus. It's boring. It's fucking generic. It's not entertaining. It's just like everything else I've heard on the years.
The way that it's presented, though. I agree. The lyrically,
the sound engineering is great. It's all polished and shiny. It's a pop album. I'm sorry, you don't have to agree with me. It is a pop album. Pop has a sound, and the mastering and everything about it is a pop album. Okay, that's just like how it is. You don't have to agree with me. This album is meant for radio. This album is meant to be sellout shit. Anyway.
XM radio, not like radio.
No, I mean like proper, like real,
like 92.5,
like Breakfast Club, blah blah blah, like on air radio type shit. I mean, it's
but Breakfast Club is like XM, is what I'm saying. Like,
aren't they not like actually on air in the cars and shit? Like, I'm pretty sure that's a real radio station.
Yeah, but XM radio.
I know what XM radio is. It takes regular radio stations and makes it so that you can hear it. I'm talking about, aren't they also real radio? Because real radio.
No, I think they're part of like a thing.
Right, but that I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm googling this right now. Let's see what's up on this radio.
So while he's googling that,
this song is garbage.
The song
it's 101.5. Is that just like a fucking not a real thing? 101.5 FM. That's not like a real radio dial thing.
I mean, can you like fucking
not
who's got a radio?
In Canada, not in Montreal. That's not how radio signals work. It's gonna have a tower somewhere in that fucking building that sends to X kilometers away. I'm pretty sure we don't get New York City's fucking radio station. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they have people like call in and shit. Like, I think it's anyway. If I'm wrong, these guys are like Holden's a fucking idiot, and otherwise not. Let's go back to how trash this shit is. Should I pull up in that Bugatti? Because I heard you pulled up in that Rari. Are you fucking kidding me? A Bugatti? What a fucking superfluous waste of money. And you pulled up with your best friend. How are you supposed to be doing all the crime you're talking about and then getting a Bugatti?
No stress. No.
I woke up in a Bugatti.
That is literally what I'm trying to say. That was the only time that Bugattis were actually cool to me.
No, but that year, Bugattis are the hot shit. And it's not because the cars... I'm pretty sure some people will argue with me. But most people... think it's cool because it costs a lot,
Yes,
not
of
because
course.
of features. Okay. Anyway,
I don't even like the look of
100
it.
for the watch. Gun inside my socks. Why you pulling up in a Bugatti with a gun in your socks? That seems like the opposite of real G's move in silence.
That's not. No. Like, it's concealed. You can't see
You're
it.
right. Maybe as a concealed permit, and I'm being a bit of a hater on that point. I give you to you, Chris. That was too far. Pulling up into Bugatti seems like a I don't believe it kind of move. Unless it's rented. If you rented that Bugatti, bro, I get it. Owning it? What? Really? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not getting it. Maybe I don't get this culture he's trying to sell to me.
So I think what this song is
Hold on. Jeremih says, you should have my last because you first place. Trying to hit it out. No first base. I'm like, fuck out of here with this trash. This song's a 3.5. It's it's not good.
So I'm kind of happy I didn't review this song with the lyrics, because if the song with the lyrics is a 3.5, it's actually a 4 if you don't have the lyrics and you're just listening to it.
It's some bullshit pop music.
Like, I just
It
kind
just
of
sounds good.
flowed, and
I
it
don't
was
like
really just nice. But I think the concept is Casanova's kind of just like flexing about how he can kind of just in a way do what he wants. First verse, he pulls up in the Bugatti. He's kind of got this love interest. He's not love interest, but he's got, this interest in this woman or whatnot who clearly's got a friend. And then he chats, and then he's like, yo, are we fucking or not? Bring your friend, let's do this. And it kind of just shows his nonchalant...
Boring.
Relax. His nonchalantness to just things that happen. He's really just more concerned about what matters to him.
This is boring pop music. The Migos writes better fucking interesting shit than this.
All right.
Like, what about this? I know what you're doing here, but are you really defending him to be nice, or are you sincerely...
I'm not... No, whoa. I'm not defending him to be nice or nothing. I'm just saying, like, this is just him. I'm saying, it kind of just looks like he's expressing this. This is how I do. I just kind of pull up. I got my eye on you. You seem to be rolling in a Rari. I want you to catch my eye. I want to catch your eye. I got to pull up in a Bugatti. He's like playing a fucking love interest game. That's really what it is. He's just dating. Like, he's like, yo, you're hot. I want to kind of run with it. You're pulling up in this. I'm going to pull up in this. Let's meet up. I'm all concealed. I'm a thug. I got my gun in my sock if any tries to pop off at this club. Yo, I see you with Shorty. Let's all mix up. You and your friend, come back to my place. Let's get it on. And that's really what the song is. Because then in the chorus, they're basically calling women bosses. And they're just praising them. They're really just like, yo, you got it, girl. You got it going on.
No, it's got me like, whoa.
Because they're doing what they do.
Fucking them.
Because they good. They're praising women. That's it. And they're praising women. Four on 5.
If you really want to go down that path, they're praising women who don't charge them money and have sex with them. Like, I'm not really sure how you're getting so deep on this shit, dude. It's not that good of a song at all. And, like, in 2019, this is one of the first times I felt like this on this channel. I have cherry-picked what we review. An example of an artist I don't think I ever want to review is on the next track, and it's Coming Home. It sounds like people spend as much money on Chris Brown's voice as women who do plastic surgery spend on their fucking body to sound perfect. Chris Brown's voice is the plastic...
To look perfect, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Brown's voice is the plastic surgery voice of fucking, like, music. Like, he's probably really talented.
He can sing. Like, he naturally he can sing.
But this is garbage. There's like fucking nothing to this song. It's just trash. And I say that because, like, look, you want to go down this pop ass shit, you gotta have it meaningful. It's gotta fit. You gotta have something to it.
It is.
No, it's
I can find it. I can tell
fresh
you right now.
home from 8. Eat the pussy like it's steak. And I bet he eats pussy. I guess that's different.
Nah.
And I bet I scraped the plate. Only real ones can relate. I love the way that booty shake. Pulled up in her in a black drop. Licked her stash box. Put my gun in her. Gave her back shots. Emptied the clip in it. I saw it's good, so you know I double dipped in it. I'm counting money like a banker. Tell her that she's fucking with a gangster. Like, the verse is fine. It's fine. It's just whatever. I mean, it's like thug loving, like he's super hard and he fucks her and he uses gun references. And before, we did it in the shower. Before that was the kitchen counter. Nah, I ain't Pinky. Petite store on Vicky. Or Picky. Petite store on Vicky. All night, all quickie. That's a weird situation. That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
actually, left a hickey between her. So you're coming like instantly.
Well,
over
I
and
mean,
over
you
and
can
over and
either
over
go
and over.
all night and have like a 3-hour ordeal, or you can like fuck 5 times, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Little quick 1, 2, 1, 2. Take a little break. Go back. Smoke a spliffy, whatever. Go back.
3.5 on 5. Boring as fuck.
Casanova, I am trying so hard. I like you. I
Look,
like
man,
what you can
this
do.
is
I
like
like
Justin
what you're
Bieber
bringing.
level pop.
I like it.
Justin
It is-
Bieber level pop.
I mean, I guess I like Justin Bieber level pop as well.
I don't like Chris Brown's voice on this. I don't think it just sounds like overproduced. Like, I don't know that I like my streets music so shiny, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And this is so shiny that it glistens. I just don't buy it. Like, even Ja Rule, like, felt like more hard to me than this song in particular. I don't know who the fuck he's trying to appease with this. Maybe it's just not for me.
I think
and
it's
that's
supposed
fine.
to be a woman track. Maybe it's because the way I kind of look at it.
But
is
we've heard a lot of women tracks, right?
I said that. I said that this morning. I said that this morning when I was on a phone call. I was like,
So it's not good.
like I get that.
3.5.
I gave it a 4 because, again, if you're just listening to it, it's not bad. Chris Brown comes on and does what I expect Chris Brown to do on every single fucking thing he touches. I can rap, I can sing, and I'm choosing to do one or the other, or I'm gonna do both. There's that's just kind of how I look at Chris Brown. There's nothing. I'm not gonna stay here and be like he's super fucking perfect, but I'm also not gonna stay here and be like he's super fucking trash. The dude knocks out songs every time he
Generic,
makes one.
boring. Those are words I'm using. Boring.
But I do like, in a way, I kind of look at the song as Casanova praising or at least admiring the girl or this woman who might just kind of be with him.
It
for the
sounds
ride
like
or die.
another chick that he's fucking. I don't know where you get praising from.
I get, and like
Praising is a strong word.
so not praising, but it's more like like this is what I like doing with you.
Fucking you.
Like when I come
Sex.
home after 8,
Sex.
I've worked all day.
Fucking.
I'm gonna exactly.
That's it. He likes to fuck.
I'm trying here. It's a 4.
I know you're trying, but if you're not succeeding to convince me
I
that
am
there's
under-
praising going on.
I am
here.
understanding.
He is praising the holes of her body and his ability to insert his semen inside
done
of
with
them.
this
Okay,
podcast.
it's
I'm
not
done with this episode.
interestingly done. Isham is rapping about this shit on, like, we're talking about Isham on like a couple episodes
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
or whatever. Not you, but Bonnie.
Yeah.
Isham's sex songs are interesting. This is boring.
So give me. So actually, I'm interested to ask what like.
So he
how?
wrote a
Like,
song
it's
called
more detailed.
He wrote a song called Jackie, which celebrates this lady's love of sucking dick with gargling level of details.
Okay.
It's interesting.
And I
it's
said
shocking.
that, and I
It's
said
something
that.
to listen to. That's
I said
fun.
that. I was
And the
like-
chorus is like, oh Jackie, 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 and it's got this fun vibe to it that you can't help but
face.
cut it in there.
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
dope. This is like. Something pop, pop, pop,
I mean, I get that, and I said the same thing too. I was like on a phone call, and I was just explaining to.
So why are you trying to defend guy? Just be real with it.
No. What I'm saying is that I admitted, and I'm admitting now, there is better love songs.
Amazing.
There's
Chris,
way more.
Chris, stay with it.
No, In My Hood.
Okay, stay with it in my hood. Gosh, the verses like step it up. At least it feels serious this time. At least it feels like it is him and not some cheesy love song. The chorus has a lot of questionable auto-tune.
I like the chorus. I
I found it was questionable auto-tune. I would have liked it if it was just clean, like the fucking verses. The auto-tune I could not get into.
I don't care for the auto-tune. I like the effect that it used though, because it kind of sounds like he's whispering in a sense. Like he's kind of being like.
I mean, in this, I'm gonna say it's an experiment. I'm not calling this in the same level of hatering like I was on Chris Brown's pop. This is like a cooler direction to go with it, right?
Right.
So this song's getting a 4 off the jump. It's a little better. You can
4.2. What are you saying?
No, I don't like that chorus. The experiment didn't land with me. I mean, lyrically, it's okay. Somehow, some way, I got to get my gun and let it spray. I'm beefing with some people, and I know they ain't gonna play. Shit, I could die any day. Somehow, some way, and it's like, all right, I suppose all of that's fine. It just doesn't I mean, it's kind of like, it sounds like the guy who gets featured on like the other guy that you really want to be listening to's album.
Which I think is actually a really nice. It's an interesting topic to think about because it's like maybe some people are just meant to be like features.
Well, I mean, like, all I'm saying is,
Like your one verse just bangs
but
out.
like, I
next
look
to,
at it like this: Jail Call introduced an amazing track. Like, it is, I gave it a 5, right? That's how we started this.
Right.
Knock Knock, while hilarious, is still an interesting track
course.
because it's commenting on something real,
Right.
something I do believe he was going through. Since that point, Casanova's performance has not brought a lot of interesting in terms of what he's talking
Diversity?
about to me. Interesting.
Okay.
Not diversity. It's just that, I mean, I gotta keep it buck. I gotta keep it tucked. Cops locking people up, but I don't give a fuck. Why wouldn't you care about that?
Where is that?
It's in verse 1. Oh no, I'm in the Stay With It lyrics. I'm in
verse 1, the way he starts
I
off
fucked
is,
that up. I'm sorry.
Thank God I survived these wars. That's the pain that's been behind these scars.
I was on the wrong track. My bad.
Cheap. It's all good. I got the beam cheap and the 9 ain't far because they kill you in my hood if you drive these cars. Like, again, I feel like he's now he's expressing just where he's from, more or less. It's the same consistent lyrics. Let's be clear. It's the same type of
He could get you
lyrics.
coke, he could get you dope, he could get you pills, shit, he could get you killed. In my hood, shit is real. Me and Crash found a way to purge. And basically, he's putting out, not only is shit real, I was on the wrong song before, I'm on the right song now, that he is the guy to get stuff done. He's the boss man. He's whatever, don't fuck with him. And I like the fact that he has his like pulse there. You know, if you catch a new case and you predicate felon, don't come home too soon, they gonna swear you telling. They'll back out guns and aim at your melon, and they'll take your life over dice and take what you selling.
Which is cool to think, like, which is interesting in terms of if you get caught, you have to stay caught. Like, it's part of the game. Like, even when you're caught, they may not even, like, people may not think you're a snitch yet, but if you show up 3 days later after being caught, it's like, why are you back so quick? We've been through this. Like, why are you back here? What happened? Like, what did you do? What bird did you sing? You know what I'm saying? It's really cool, like, just to think that that's the type of mentality that they're kind of living by. Like,
fair enough. The verses on this track are a little bit more interesting. A little bit more.
Fair. I do give credit to the hook. I like the way he did it.
I was definitely on the wrong lyrics, but this is the auto-tuning hook, right?
I mean, there is some auto-tune, but it literally just sounds like he's whispering. Like, he sounds like it kind of sounds like, yo, where can I get the hook up? And he's like, oh, yo, homie, let me let you know if you need anything. Make sure you got the strap. Make sure you got this. I can bring you, you know. So he's kind of like rapping it, but he's also like, we have to keep this hush hush because people out here will really kill you. People out here really rob you. People out here really fuck with you if you don't keep in line. So I think that's really just what it is. He's just kind of, again, reiterating and reinforcing that. He's like, this is kind of how I live my life. This is what I'm born into. This is the only mentality I have. And throughout a lot of the songs, he's addressed, like, you know, he's gone to jail, come back, and I'm still doing this shit. On Brooklyn, he clearly states it. He's like, I came out of jail and still acted Brooklyn. And it's like, you didn't learn anything. And I think that's part of it, is that that's who Casanova is. He is just, like, to him, he's just that street. And that's what I think he's trying to convey in a lot of these songs. For this song, I gave it a 4.2.
I gave it a 4. I don't have a lot. Like, honestly,
I like the beat. Personally, I do like the beat. I think it's better. It had a nice trappier feel to it.
It just all seems to, like, maybe, like, I just put it in my head that we're here and I'm not feeling it. But I'm not really feeling the passion in this. I feel like this is some poppy whatever. I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe a lot of other people are going to come at me and be like, he's super whatever. I totally relate to this. And maybe it's really relatable to a lot of other people, but I don't know. I guess people will kill me if they don't feel me. I don't know what to say. Next up is, you want to talk about Stay With It?
Yep.
So I know I totally read the chorus to this one. This chorus in the last song, I got real confused. This one, I did actually like the sound of the chorus more because he does hit it proper and it just has like an energy to it. In this song, I realized the way he delivers it, the beat, the grandiosity, the bigness of it, it just feels like such an anthemic banger. It's just, all about having a gun and shooting people, but in a way that is an anthemic banger. I don't know. I feel like the shooting and grittiness goes good together, in my opinion. Like, this feels like I want to hear it going to the gym, and I want him to rap about push-ups and shit.
Right.
And I love that song.
I have a song for that, actually.
And I'd give it a 5 if this was anything positive, anything proactive, and anything build me up. Because that would have, like, that's what you got. Like, somehow, some way, gotta get the machine underway, or push-ups another day, or get my crunches A. I'm saying, like, that's what I wanted out of this. And maybe I'm not a street guy, okay. And I'm not trying to diss the culture. You can go watch all the other street rapper guys that sit there and sing their praises on it. It's really just... This sounds so not... Like, it just sounds like a pop song that's got some, like... I gotta keep it a buck, I gotta keep it tucked. Cops locking up and I don't give a fuck. When they shoot you, gotta duck and bulletproof the truck, cause it feels like real, running out of luck. So gotta keep it with me, gotta keep the blicky. And now don't get me wrong, I appreciate the sense of the environment and all the stuff Chris has been talking about on this review, where like he's describing the seriousness of it, and it's fucked up that the cops are coming. It's just when I hear the sounds of this song, I'm like, I don't know, man. It feels so grandiose and big. And the lyrics are not living up to the sound expectation I had for this track. Like, no cap, I could get you clapped, put money on your head, have people aiming at your cap. You know I never lack, my enemies put pain in, but motherfuck that, I do the same thing. There's kids in your cribs, I've seen kids where you live. You get bands, I get bands, man, and it is what it is.
That line is cool. That line is one that stuck with me because...
You're right, that line is like, I'm really fucking ruthless. I'm willing to go after your kids. I'm willing to stock out your shit.
I kind of took it more as like, again, this is what the life is. And he's kind of just expressing. And I think this is like a lot of the message on this album is music for people who consistently kind of just live this type of life.
Fair enough.
Like a Lil Durk type. Like Lil Durk make like the album I reviewed for Lil Durk, Music for the Streets. It was this similar type of lyrics the whole way through, but it was music for people who live that type of life.
But here's the thing, when Benny the Butcher does it, I really, really like it. When Conway and Machine does it, I really, really like it. When, I don't know, a lot of these cats, when the Wu-Tang Clan does it, I really like it now.
So I'm going to say this, right? There's a divide. Like, Wu-Tang, Benny the Butcher, Conway. Yeah, they're gangsters. Yeah, they're fucking out there. But they're also, like...
They make gritty.
God,
I don't like this pop shit. It just sounds so shiny.
Because I'm trying to say, like, and
you're gonna make shiny pop music. Like, it feels weird to be rapping like in this way. Like, all of this, it just doesn't feel right when I hear it. I don't know how to describe it, and I guess nobody asked my opinion and all that crap, but
I agree that it's poppy, and I agree all of that.
But like, it's not good.
But I do think
it's not good poppy.
I'm not disagreeing.
Now here's
with
the thing.
But
I actually like this track more than the last few. I gave this song a 4.15 because it's grandiose, it's anthemic, it feels everything. I think, but like the depth of the song. Like, it's so. All of these songs are top level. There's nothing deep about it.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get the divide. It's like. There's people who want to listen to the gangster music that's going to teach them how to distribute, flip, and product.
No, I mean,
and then there's the music that is just, I just want to kind of gangbang. I kind of just want to like hear music that's really simple, and that just makes me want to be like, yo, fuck with me, I fuck with you. Like, let's go. Like, I think there is a division there. I think that you have like, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So there's people who want to glorify the lifestyle and people who want to document the lifestyle. That's what you're saying? I can't understand otherwise what you're saying.
Okay.
I mean, that I don't really get it at all.
Like
I don't understand.
Young Jeezy?
Bangers. Like, right, the guy actually says some shit.
My point. But like, people who listen to Young Jeezy are also, because he's got a bigger audience. Like, he can appeal to both.
You know why? Because you wrote some real shit. Interesting real shit.
I get that. But
not
then
like
I'm
sounds
like
everybody else real shit.
And I get that. But
Could you
people
not
who sound like everyone else and who make that music, it's literally just for the people who just want to bump to that.
Sure.
Like, it's not even supposed to have like that little thing, because those people ain't looking for how do I learn to fucking distribute shit?
I'm sorry.
Like, they don't want to learn that.
At the end of the day, Like, if your shit is good, it's like good across the board.
Right.
What you're saying, I'm saying this is simple and kind of top level and kind of not like next level
Which
shit.
I agree, but I think that's what the point is. Like, it's not supposed to be
But you can
top
do
level.
simple. If you're gonna make pop music, you're gonna do that. There's so many great examples of how you can do it right.
Fair enough.
And I don't think this is it. I think this is a guy coming off like he's deep, but only in the way because it doesn't. I don't feel it. Like everything
feel
about
that.
this is shiny
I feel that.
and not real.
I'm just pulling up my thing because my
Which
computer
is
died.
fine. What I'm trying to say is this doesn't come off like authentically fucking whatever. It sounds like a guy who is authentic making music that it doesn't even sound like he likes this music as much as like, you know, like it sounds like when Kanye West made albums for Pusha T and how Pusha T laid vocals down and then Kanye took it and did what he wanted with it.
Okay.
That's more what I feel across this
Okay.
whole project. It's not great. It's not memorable. This shit is the most forgettable album I have reviewed in a long time. Forgettable. Because there's nothing on here that's memorable. It's relying on like a Chris Brown feature and a Young Thug feature for being like whatever. These are things it's relying on to be memorable. Not... anyway. And it's a shame because of how much I like how this album started. And I haven't even given a 5 to an album opener in like as long as I've fucking heard an album this bad. For like the way it started, it's unacceptable to me. Anyway, this song's a 4.15. I don't know. I don't have a lot to comment. There's nothing for me to talk about except that it's poppy.
4 on 5.
The next song is called "Could Have Been Something" featuring KayCyy Pluto. All right, the chorus is really boring. Full of shit like I'm all that you need now, hoping you see now, something guarantees, could have been something for sure, blah 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 blah. His verses are alright, and I don't want to say that they're shit, but they're only alright to me. It's back into that pop love song sound that he's been playing with. Be my pride, fuck the pride and ego, or be my bride, or whatever, fuck the pride and ego is a bite to eat. Maybe we can hit some free throws. She don't mind hanging with my peoples. One girl, bunch of guys. We be looking like Cardi and the Migos.
I'm bored.
And I'm a Scorp and she a Leo and she a Pio. She know I trap, got chicken like Peo Peo, and I'm flyer than the eagle. And she make me bust, then I reload. I mean, it's clever, but you know, that's the kind of clever where everybody's makes these jokes. It's
Right.
not actually clever. It's like common. It's real. I guess it's pop. It's the same problem the whole album.
Get a beat. Come on. Do this.
It's a 4 on 5. I don't have a lot more to say. I don't want to just be talking shit. This is better than the Chris Brown one because it's a little more blendy, but it's not good. I mean, there's a little substance to his verses, which is why and it's got some cleverness, so it's a 4. But it's not good. It's just okay.
Fair enough.
Well, what'd you give it?
I gave it a 4.
I guess after all the shit that I've talked on this podcast, the question is, can I live? Or is Casanova gonna kill me? I like this song a lot. Like, what the fuck? Where the fuck was this, like, the whole fucking album? So, track 1 is good, track 2 is good, and track 10 is good. And the rest of this shit is just, like, filler. That's I guess So Brooklyn's good. So, we'll say 4 of the 10 are in my good range, and everything else is, like, filler to me. This one, though, has, like, right off the jump, like, this idea, like, I don't want to die rich. I don't want to die broke. I don't want a side bitch. I just kind of want to, you know, be like a person who lives. I'm just trying to live. A whole lot of shit. You could have that. Man, I'm past that. Had an Audi, alright, but a person crashed that. I didn't want to be the kid that the kids laughed at, so I started running the streets, but this my best lap. And I mean, maybe you could say the whole point of this track is to contextualize the album and say these are his past, and he's looking back, and he's kind of come to this point where he's trying to be better now and whatever. And that's cool, because this song's interesting, where he's actually doing shit like that, you know? It was God's plan that I stand out. Even Suge had it all, but, you know, and then the chorus comes in. So it just kind of...
Suge had it all, and then he panned out. He actually finishes it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point is that, like, it's actually got some really interesting ideas coming in, some comparison. It's like all of a sudden, or like, you sending shots, hope they miss me. R.I.P. Nipsey. Think my baby mom trying to turn my child against me. So now we're getting some personal stuff, trying to, like, look at the situations of, you know, his like actual life. And I'm like, this sounds like real shit, you know, real thoughts thoughts and feelings as opposed to some of the more pop packaged stuff we've gotten. I guess I didn't show my child support. That's why his mama put me on child support. Interesting lines, weak rhymes, but still an interesting line. Some accountability going on there. I was about to wild in court. Man is playing, starting to pound my thoughts. We got a child, so why do we one's acting childish for? And that's interesting. How he's gonna behave more maturely for the sake of his kids to handle the situation, you know. And I like how he goes the more money, more problems. Big said it right. I really enjoyed that. And he has another line on the album. I think that is like Biggie that I think I missed it. We should have
if you don't know, now you know, and it's Fabolous.
It's very nice. That was one of the. Yeah, Fabolous did some really nice lines. See what I'm saying? Like that was a good line on that track. I remembered it all this time later. I'm just trying.
That's so dead.
Same time for. I mean, apparently, if you talk shit on the internet, but to be fair, I don't really think Casanova needs to suck a dick. So I can.
Yeah, we never told him to suck a dick. So
I hypothetically did.
He's not gonna come knocking on our door.
The video's it's kind of not my favorite video.
There's a video?
Yeah, it's a little forgettable, but Giggs is in it, and I like Giggs, so I was excited for this one, and Giggs lived up to my expectation. A little bit sounds like Giggs he's just kind of commenting from his perspective, and he's just fucking some chick, and he's just kind of enjoying life a little bit more. Like, he's more in the moment, I take it. And I like the way he does it. Like, you don't say, they ask what's good, ask if you're okay. I've been having arguments the whole day, so I'm up in the apartment where Rose or in the hotel, somebody I won't name, let's just say an old flame, laughing about the old days when I had no game. So in a sense, you kind of picture him, the older guy, thinking back, oh yeah, when I was a young one, and now I'm older, I just want to get away, I just want to live and smash my old flames on my rosé. And it takes a real man to admit that he drinks rosé. Respect, my man. I don't know. I like this one a lot more. It's got a greater energy to it. I feel like, end of the day, at least if you're gonna come at it from this perspective, I don't know, of kind of seeking a level of just trying to live your life, and you're not flawed. Like there's something about this track that imparts on me something more than what we've gotten on the rest of the album. And mostly it's like that I want to seek something that satisfies me. That's interesting. That's a concept I can fuck with. I get this a 4.5. I feel like this album is just so hit or miss for me.
I like the song. I do like Giggs. I have him on like repeat on a lot of my routines that I do, my music routines. And I do like just the fact that they're both kind of just going like, I want to live. The idea of not wanting to die rich or die broke is a little bit fascinating. Like, I spent a long time going like, I want to die with, XYZ material things, blah, 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 and kind of like leave a legacy behind or leave something. But the fact that these guys are kind of like expressing that they just want to just live in the moment, and that it kind of plays off this idea of like, you could die at any moment, so just live for today. Like, live your plans, reach your goals, do what you got to do, but don't forget to like, what is it, carpe diem, seize the day or something like that. Like, just live in that moment and really just, enjoy what you got. And that's kind of what I took from this song. It was kind of straightforward. I really like the voices. I really like how Casanova and Giggs kind of mesh together with their voices. I think it's just because Giggs got a really deep, bassy voice. But it was a nice way to end up to wrap up the album. I gave the song a 4.2. Thought it was dope. But just to move on from that, I do like how they ended the album with that song, because of, once I listened to it again, and I also kind of did a couple playthroughs because it's only like 35 minutes long, really. It's not that, it's like wash your dishes and you're done. It's like you kind of understand the album after, where he just is in a way unapologetically honest with himself, and like, just, this is the music I make, this is what I do, this is where I come from. If you fuck with me, I'm a bang, boom, 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 and I'm just trying to live. I thought it was a really cool way, and the way that he started the album with the jail call, and kind of giving you that he's in these like dark thoughts and these mentality and just dealing with a lot of that shit. Yeah, I think going through track by track and really kind of understanding why, I guess, maybe it's one of those, now that I'm talking about, maybe it's one of those things where it's like, you start off with the final scene that he's in jail calling his mom, and the whole movie, quote unquote, is like all the scenes leading up to the final scene. Maybe that's how it was presented. I don't know. It's kind of cool But sonically and just like as an interest to want to listen to, there's 2 songs I'm going back to on this album, and that's if I remember to go back to them.
I think this album's a good old 4.
Oh, my album grade is a 4.06.
So here's the thing. If you're really into pop, and you're really into simple, and you're really into generic, and like, I guess you're of a certain life, I'm going to assume for what the haters are going to say at me when they watch this one. And I say haters in this case because, like, I suppose if you perceive me as talking shit this whole review, you're going to say negative things. I don't know if you're jealous of me, so I don't know if you're really a hater. But I do think that people who like this are not going to necessarily like what I had to say. And I can acknowledge that. I also think that this album is not the byproduct of love to me. It sounds like somebody paid for this album to sound the way that it does. And
like mastering?
All of it. It just sounds like a manufactured, everything down to the lifestyle feels manufactured. Like, I actually believe Casanova's legit and real on this.
So,
as a man.
Could it be like an industry plant in a sense?
No,
Okay.
It sounds more like the industry really wants to sell this image he's pushing because they believe they'll make a lot of money off of this shit, as opposed to making something more authentic, which won't sell as well.
Right.
So if somehow this album is getting a Grammy nomination at some point, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I don't think it should. I think in my opinion, it's not a great album, but it's so manufactured where I could see how a lot of people stream it and a lot of people really like it if it gets the push that it might get with a guy like Jigga behind it.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I just don't think most people watching this channel, for the regulars, are going to like it that much. I feel like listen to the first and couple of songs and see what you think. Once you start singing about women, you may as well just turn it off or skip to the last one because Gigs is cool. So yeah, sorry if this came out negative. Honestly, it wasn't my intention. It's just, I'm a real one like that. I did not like this album as much as I wanted to. As much as the first song made me feel I was going to. I feel like I got excited and then it was just purely disappointing for a big period of this album. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of this one. So thank y'all for watching. Totally appreciate y'all being here with us and all of that. I look forward to getting berated in the comments on this one, and I look forward to responding to y'all and hopefully having some civil discourse as you educate me as to why my opinion sucked. Like the video if you did, dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews either way. And special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prado, Jonathan Barnes, TJ Black, Hurricane Linda, Williams, and Coney Spars. This support will be due. Helped us get a new camera, helped us get a website in the near future, and a couple other things. They get to tell us what albums to review. It's a good time all around. If you want to support us and help us get to that next level, you know what to do. Otherwise, I'm dropping an album this week, so you'll get to see that like on Wednesday, the 16th of October at like 7:30 p.m. and that'll be fresh and fun, and we can all have a good time listening to me and my music. So you can be like, do you even make music? Yeah, I do. Haha, yeah, I can answer yes to that question. Cause put out an album this week, which is not that far off from when he put out his album. And I don't know what I'm trying to even do with
All right,
this.
guys, it's the end of the show. Have yourself a wonderful day,
Live
evening,
long
afternoon,
and
or
prosper
whenever you're
and
watching this,
spin
whatever
my
year,
shit.
decade,
Tell me how bad it
dimension.
is. Make some hate videos on my music, please. Yo, talk about how terrible it is. I would love that, please.
Peace.
You guys can tell me to suck a dick.